All right, good morning, everybody. Good morning. Hope everyone's having an awesome day so far. With the help of today's sponsor, we're actually doing some maintenance for our skis. We're actually taking some time off the slopes today, doing a little bit something different for you guys, and actually just doing a little deep dive into pretty much how I maintain my skis throughout the ski season. So for those of you guys that are new to the channel, my name is Corey, and on today's video, we're actually doing a deep dive into how I maintain my skis throughout the ski season themselves. I'm not by any means a pro when it comes to ski tuning and waxing my skis. I've only been waxing and tuning my own skis for about the last year or so, and I really enjoy it. I actually love being able to wax and tune my skis throughout the season, especially my wife's, whether there's good snow on the slopes or maybe there's a trip we want to go on and we want to get our skis tuned and waxed pretty much at any time. It's really fun to do in the garage on the weekend with friends. When I want something done more professionally, I actually take them to a local shop that I've been going to for the last 3 to 4 years, and they do a great job. And I think that's also smart to do if you're especially like a novice like myself, where I don't really know that much, or I haven't dove too much into ski tuning or waxing for that matter. I've just kind of, done the basics like a bunch of you guys probably. I've just watched a bunch of YouTube videos and just seen kind of what works for me. And honestly, today is no different. I'm just gonna be doing a simple overview and just like quick job over my skis for the day using this new kit from Joy Tudis, the sponsor of today's video. I'm really excited to work with them on this because they actually sent me out a vise set for skis or snowboards, which is super nice. Nice for anyone that wants to use them at their house and not have like your skis or snowboards slide around while you're using them. That's something that I was actually going to be looking at buying anyway this season, but the fact that they gave that in the package was awesome. They also sent me their wax kit, which comes with an iron and there's just a bunch of different tools in there in general. Also for edging, which is awesome that they sent this edge tuner kit, which is really nice to have. A good edge tuner kit by itself is just worth its weight in gold right here. I think this is gonna come in handy really well today. Without further ado though, let's start cracking these boxes open and see what's in these kits. So the first thing I'm gonna open is actually something I'm really excited about, is just the clamp system, the 3-piece Joy Tudis clamp system you can use for skis or snowboards, it sounds like. 1 clamp, 2 clamps, and 3 clamps. These things are honestly really sturdy too. When I was first like looking at the box, I figured this would be like mostly plastic, but all these clamps are actually like pretty sturdy. Each of the vices too has a long length, so if you have a different shop, maybe workbench size, or even just want to use a picnic table or something like I'm using today, I think it's really nice that you can kind of work off of any bench imaginable out there. This is actually the middle vise when you're using snowboards. I think it's going to be more common to use, but just for the matter of using the ski alone, I think I'm just going to use the 2 side clamps. This middle clamp is really going to come in handy though on your snowboards when you're doing edging, but for the matter of just today's ski, I think I'm just going to use the 2 clamps I have right in front of me. All right, let's take a look inside our wax set here, kind of see what they give us. Metal scraper. Oh, nice. They actually give you an apron for waxing, which I might even wear right now because I know that some of like the metal slivers that come off your skis can get stuck on your clothes and you don't want to find them later on. Get a whole manual, 3 different kinds of brushes, which is awesome. I love going through different courses of brushes, especially when you're on like the finishing waxing on your skis. Give you a couple rubber bands to hold down your brakes, a gummy stone, which is pretty much the thing I'm gonna be using most today. They usually give you something like this, like that huge file that comes in the bag. And honestly, I don't really use this at all. This is kind of for something that more that maybe a professional would use, but for just kind of cleaning off my edges and just cleaning up some of the sides, I just use the gummy stone that they provide. But already looking in this bag, I can tell you that they give you way more than you already need. And it actually comes with its own edger inside that you can use. So interesting that they actually send me their own edge tuner kit. So this kit alone must be I don't know, I think it's kind of worth it. They don't give you a bunch of wax in the kit, but I think to do maybe your skis like 3 to 4 times, I think you would have enough wax just in this little kit right here, just enough to get you started. The iron, woo, that's a nice looking iron, you guys. This little dial in here is really specific to the heat, so if you want a little more or less, you can just adjust it really easily. And yeah, awesome, cool. We'll get to that later on. This is actually a pretty nice apron. And I never thought I would say that. When it comes to waxing and tuning skis, you'll find out real quick, you want an apron. One thing I do wish any ski tune kit would give you is a pair of gloves, because I find that wearing gloves, a little nicer to your hand, especially when you're working with files. You tend to kind of get a couple little abrasions on your fingertips, and I don't know, just not nice. So if you can, wear gloves. Ooh. Before, when I would wax and tune my skis, I would have to like put 2 chairs up, and I would have to put some towels down to kind of just keep the wax off of them, and they would just slide around the whole time. So I had to hold one side while I would edge the other, and it just was the longest, most painful process ever. So to see this thing not even moving around on this vise is nice. First thing I like to do whenever I start on my skis, or in between really anything, is I like to wipe down the entire surface of my ski. It just makes it just that much more clean, and throughout the process, whenever you get a bunch of buildup of metal or wax on top, you just want to keep wiping it off to make it as clean as possible. Whenever I'm working on my skis at home, the one big thing I also try to do, if I'm not kind of cleaning off the skis in between each set of cleaning, is I'm also working tip to toe the whole way down, just so it's one fluid motion. All right, so now that my surface is nice and clean, I just take this little gummy stone that they provide in the kit, and I go along all the edges and kind of find any markups or anything that I can just kind of rub off with this stone itself. It's almost like, in its own way, its own little like magic eraser, because you just kind of use it along the edges, just take off all the dirt and grime. And especially if any of you guys are like me and travel with your skis on top of your car, it can get really dirty really quickly. Good rule of thumb too, when you're going through with the gummy stone, is just listen with your ears. You can kind of hear some of the buildups on your skis, whether it's just rust or, you know, a bunch of grime, dirt, maybe going through some of those tree runs that weren't quite covered yet. You might get some of that on there. But like I've already said, you guys, don't tear me apart too much in the comment section. I know by all means I'm not a pro at this. I just want to be a little more proactive as far as my skiing goes, and to be able to, you know, do a little something on my own. It's kind of nice to learn something new. I can already tell the skis are shining a little better just from using this stone alone. These vices are doing wonders though. They're not moving at all. Just the only shake that's actually coming is from the table itself. But if I actually had these vices clamped onto my workbench, I don't think this ski would even be going anywhere right now. But doing a great job, just keeping everything locked down, and really easy to work. So nice to be able to not have to, you know, use a couple hands to free up tuning an edge. You can just worry about doing your job. So nice. All right, I think I'm done with that stone. Always wipe everything off. Just from the gummy stone alone. All right, now I think it's time to open the edge tuner kit. Like I said, we're just gonna keep it really simple. I'm gonna do the edges on the side, and then just kind of clean everything up one more time before getting the wax kit set up. But really excited about this edge tuner kit here. I'm actually curious what's inside. Obviously a tuner. All right, so we got a little bag that we can kind of store everything for later. Oh wow, this thing is actually an entire edge tune kit. I thought it was maybe just like a different kind of stone with another grip, but this thing is an entire set. That's crazy. It comes with a gummy stone, a Diamond 240 grit, a Diamond File 500 grit, 1000 grit, a bigger base file, the edge tuner itself, and then a little cleaning brush that you get also in there. That's so cool they sent this to me. This is more than what I thought was actually gonna be in here. I'm gonna go ahead and start with the 1000 grit. One thing I probably should have done from the get-go is to put the ski sideways so I could actually edge each side a little easier, but Just realized that halfway through, and once again, I'm new. All right, got everything clamped in, that's nice. This is where the center clamp would have actually come in handy. I could have grabbed it right now, but I'm just gonna use the 2 because it's actually just good enough of a base to use for tuning. So I'm gonna go ahead and run along these sidewalls here on this side and then flip it over. Now I've actually put in the 240 grit inside the side edger. Now I'm just gonna go up and down my skis on the sides and the bottoms and just do some long strokes. Nothing too crazy, just gonna go through a couple times. Still a newer pair of skis, and I think this is like 5 days, so I don't need to do anything too crazy. And while I'm doing this, I'm also trying to keep the edger flush with the ski. So I'm trying not to move it around too much. Just trying to let the stone do its work. All right, and that was the 240 stone. So I'm actually gonna go through with the 2 other stones and just work the grit before flipping to the other side and doing the same thing on that side. So I'm just gonna lay the skis flat once more. And then before I even start doing the waxing process, I'm just gonna clean the bottom of the skis one more time, especially on the edges that I just cleaned. Before I even start putting the wax on, I also just kind of go through the entire ski one more time with a Brillo pad or even a really thick brush like they give you in the case. So I just heated up my iron. I put it almost all the way to the top because honestly, I feel like when you're putting your wax on your skis, you should be kind of doing it in just like one big motion. You shouldn't be spending too much time, you know, kind of in one spot. You should just be constantly moving. And what I found to work for me is that I like the iron to be pretty much as hot as possible so that when I put the wax on, it just pours on evenly throughout. Like there's no blotching or bubbles. I just want one consistent line throughout the entire ski. Look at the wax though. Like a little snowflake. Gonna put the wax directly on the iron. There we go. Just like that, one solid stroke down the whole thing. And now that that's on there, I'm just gonna make a few passes all along the skis. Usually after about your first pass with the iron, it should pretty much disperse all the wax and kind of fill in all the spots that you need right off the bat, but I always go through a few times just to evenly spread everything. You'll find over time too that like maybe right away when you wax your skis, you're gonna be using maybe a little bit more wax than you maybe should, but that's okay throughout time. And especially with like the wax that they give you right out of the box, it's kind of nice to just see what you like to do as far as spreading out the wax on your skis, but you just want to do it evenly as possible. And yeah, even after 2 passes now, I can see that the ski pretty much absorbed majority of the wax. All right, you guys, well, while I let this wax kind of dry over the next hour or so, I'm gonna work on my other ski and then also do my wife's set also to get us ready for a ski trip out in Utah. I think Joy Tudis definitely hit the mark on everything I pretty much saw here today. As far as all the equipment that they give you in each kit, I think that they just go over the mark as far as what you get inside of each one. This entire Ski Tune kit really just knocked it out of the park as far as quality and being able to really just do something at home on your own. And as somebody who's just starting out or even wants to kind of up their game as far as Ski Tune kits go out there, I think Joy Tudis are definitely ones to look out for. I'm gonna wrap up this video for you guys, but in the meantime, I'm just gonna finish up my skis, scrape all the wax off, get them ready for the next few days of riding. And I hope this video really helped anybody out there who wants to get maybe a Ski Tune wax set and kind of just wants to jump in as a novice and wants to try this out. Go get a set from Joy Tudis, check them out on Amazon. Really worth it, and I cannot wait to actually use this kit going forward. It's gonna be a game changer. I am still gonna be definitely going out and using my professional ski tuners down the street, but basically gonna be using these every 4 to 5 days out on the mountain and just making sure that everything is dialed in and my skis are pretty much ready to go each and every day. So I just want to thank you guys so much again for watching. We'll see you oot in a boot. We'll see you guys in the next one.